Hello everyone, this is Susmadi coming at you with another free video lesson. Well, actually, this is not a free video lesson. This is uh, specifically made for my paying students. So, if you're watching this, most likely you downloaded it from the YouTube channel before I took it down again. I'm sure I've already discussed that with you over WhatsApp. And to everyone that I delayed, man, I've gotta say I'm so flipping sorry. To everyone that I delayed, I know that you paid money, but then I've been having some real issues, with Sozmad illegally and stuff. So I hope that we can try to get past that, and I can make it up to you. So today I'm just gonna be discussing the bbma strategy, which is half of my complete strategy. Things I want to discuss are the extreme MTP, MLV, CSD plus retest, the CSM retest, and the 3 time frame analysis. So I'll just run through that, as I'll summarize it as best as I can. Okay. So basically the extremes is the first feature we want. Now these features have to appear one after the other in order to qualify valid setup. So for example, the extreme is the first thing that has to show up. And an extreme is quite simple to explain. An extreme is basically when, as you can see in this red circle in the explanation, it's when the candlesticks pass the 5 EMA, and it's even stronger when it also passes the outer Bollinger Band. So when it does that and comes back in, you have an extreme. That's signal number one we need to have. Then next we need to have MTP. You see, it's also possible to take a sell trade from extreme, but that's for the more advanced stuff. So let's just leave that out for now. But let's say you did. When the chart moves from the 5 MA that it made the extreme at, it'll go to the opposite side 5 MA. My 5 MAs are these red lines, right? The blue ones are the 10 MA, but the 10 MA I barely pay attention to. It's the 5 that's the most important. So it'll move from that 5 MA to this 5 MA, and when it gets here, it has to reverse. Now when it gets here, we call it MTP. If it reverses here, we call it MTP. Then after it reverses, only one more signal is left, and that's the MLV, which stands for market loss volume. MTP is must take profit, right? So after it makes MTP, it'll move back to the level, right? The level at which an extreme was made. It'll move back there and it'll test that level. Maybe it'll even break it a bit and then continue back down, but it'll definitely go there, right? When it gets here, usually on the first candle that closes in my direction, that's my confirmation. So over here, I'm already in. So by the time this lock candle strikes, I'm already in the trade. You know what I mean? And then you can set your take profit based on what you like. One of the ways we use is the 50 EMA, setting take profit on 50 EMA. Sometimes it works really great for you. But anyway, you could use what suits your strategy, right? So then after extreme, MTP, and MLV have happened, right? What the chart will do, if your MLV was successful, what the chart will do is that it will create a CSD. Now a CSD is when the chart crosses both one of the 5 MAs and the middle Bollinger Band. Remember that. Crosses one of the 5 MAs and the middle Bollinger Band. In this case, since our extreme and MLV were to the high, we have a CSD to the 5 MA low and the middle Bollinger Band, right? Now this here confirms the direction we've taken. But you see, after CSD, we wait for CSD retest here in the screen circle. Now CSD retest is when after continuing down, the chart comes back up momentarily to retest the area in between the 5 and 10 MA. As you can see here, it made extreme, went down, crossed 5 and middle Bollinger Band, continued down, then it came back up momentarily to bounce here. This here is our second entry. Then we take this trade here and we go down with it. But then that's not all. After CSD, by crossing the 5 MA and middle Bollinger Band, then coming up for a retest, eventually the chart will also cross the outer Bollinger Band. Now if this was like a W formation, it could be the upper Bollinger Band, but since it's an M formation, it's the lower Bollinger Band, and this is called CSM, right? Don't ask me what it stands for. I'm gonna have to come up with my own terms. Even learning this like a few years ago, I just learned the terms, but I never know what all of them mean. So I'm gonna make my own. Anyway, it makes CSM, and it comes back up for another retest, right? And you take another trade. Now this is the last trade you will take, and it's quite advisable to take on the retest trades. It's quite advisable to take profits once the chart reaches the opposite side moving averages. So yeah, so just so this is just basically it. This is the basics of the bbma. Now the last thing you need to know, and which is essentially the most important thing, one of the most important things, is the multiple time frame analysis. So remember the things that I mentioned: extreme, MTP, MLV, and CSD, right? They need to show up in this order in order to qualify for a perfect trade, right? So on the 4 hour time frame, this is where we start all the time when we're scanning for a pair. We go to the 4 hour time frame. If the 4 hour time frame has what we want, we move down to the 1 hour time frame. If that has what we want, we then move down to the M15 and take our trade. So on the H4, all we want is CSD. Remember what I told you: extreme, MTP, MLV. After MLV, to confirm our direction, what do we get? CSD. So on H4, I want to see a situation where there has been an MLV, and I'm now experiencing a CSD retest. If I can find a situation like that, I'm already in the perfect spot. Then when I move down to the H1, there needs to be a bounce on the 50 EMA. So if, for example, the CSD retest is happening from an M formation, so we had an M formation, then we had CSD, and now we're at the retest. So which means that retest will be to the 5 MA high, right? Just keep this image stable in your head, or go back to where I actually showed the part about CSD retest, right? Just replay this video. So, and if I'm at that point in CSD retest where it's bouncing off the 5 MA high, on the H1, my candlesticks have to be bouncing off the 50 EMA in the same manner that the candlesticks on the H4 are bouncing off the 5 MA. So if the 5 MA is at the high and my candlesticks are bouncing to go down where I enter, then it has to be the same type of situation with the candlesticks and the 50 EMA, where it's bouncing so that it'll continue going down. Do you understand? So yeah, so that's all I need on the H1. Once I have these two things, I can already tick off 2 items on my checklist. Then the last setup is that I need to have the full MLV setup up to the MLV, or any of the trades after that, as in CSD retest or CSM retest. But on the M15, I must at least have MLV. I must, and then I know once I have these three things lined up, it's perfect. So I can send you multiple examples, and I'll do some analysis on the charts with you, because it's really easy to spot this once you've learned. So I hope this was informative enough, but this is the whole bbma strategy, basically everything that I use to trade. There is more, but this is basically what I use currently, So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I want to apologize again for delaying. I know you guys paid a lot of money for this, so yeah, please, if you new, just visit my site, check out my Instagram page, sozmali.com. This is the site, and at Sozmali is the Instagram page. Thank you.